Okay, now in this part we will talk about the structure of the tooth. This diagram is very important and this is frequently asked in the means it may be for the labeling or of course for drawing also it is asked in 5 marks. Draw the diagram representing a human tooth. So they have shown 2 diagrams, you can draw any. This is the structure longitudinal section of incisor or canine and this is for premolar or molar. The difference is that they have only one root. If we draw, like when you draw incisor or canine, you draw in this way, okay, this way. This is the type we draw. And when we draw molar or premolar, then what we are showing is we draw 2 roots like structure. They are embedded like this. So this way they have been showing in this diagram. Now let us talk about the structure of the root. So if we see the structure, what is visible to you outside? What do you see outside? You find this white structure which is made up of enamel. All of you know this is very hardest. This is the hardest substance present in your. It is even harder than the bone. So present in the body. It is called crown. So first of all, you need to draw the crown. So this is your crown, which is the visible part of the tooth, right? And this you can represent it this way. Actually a teeth or singular is called tooth. Tooth has only 2 parts. Basically those parts are the crown, which is visible, and its root, which is embedded inside. So this is the root which is embedded inside the jaw, and so this part can be called as crown, which is visible white part. Crown is made up of enamel, and this part is whole is known as the root. Root is embedded deep inside the socket of the jaw, and connecting this crown and root is a small constriction here, a small constriction which connects this crown and the root, and it is known as neck. This part is your neck, this much part, right? And here they have shown the gums. Let's say these are the gums. Okay, so enamel is made up of a very hard substance, crown is made up of a very hard substance, and it is so hard that even than the bones. So it is called, the structure with which it is made up of is called the enamel. And its root, basically it consists of soft connective tissue. When we say connective tissue, you all know that what is connective tissue made up of. Connective tissue means there will be a lot of blood supply. So let's say there is a blood supply over here, blood vessels are there, and nerve fibers will be there, lymph vessels will be there. So you can draw, seeing from here, in any way you like. Means it is not necessary that you have to draw it exactly similar, but it should look the same way. So right, so this soft connective tissue is known as pulp, and the cavity in which it is present, we call it pulp cavity. So what did I say? What I have explained so far, that a tooth has basically 2 structures. The outer white part made up of enamel, it is called crown, and the lower part which is embedded in the jaw is called root. Connecting to this crown and root, there is a small constriction, we call it neck. Then as I told you that root consists of soft connective tissue. That soft connective tissue is made up of blood vessels, lymph vessels, nerve fibers, and we call it actually pulp. And we can say that pulp is present in the pulp cavities. Now if you say what is pulp made up of, pulp is made up of blood vessels, nerve fibers and lymph vessels, and there will be cells. So here you can draw some of the cells surrounding it, just to show the connective tissue. Okay, so this is not as difficult, you just need to remember the names, and you can show this jaw bone, and there is a bone like structure which means holds it tightly, this root with the jaw. This root is connected to the jaw with a bone like structure, and that bone like structure is known as cement. Okay, so whichever diagram you like, easier this one or this one, you can draw any one if suppose it is asked to draw in the exams. Now here you can go through it. So as I told you, the structure of a tooth consists of Where that enamel part is called the crown, and there is a root which is embedded in the cup-like socket of the jawbone. Root consists of single process fang. The single fang is present in incisor and canines, and 2 are present in premolars and molars. 3 in molars. The neck is, as I told you, slight constriction which joins the crown and the root. Enamel or the ivory, it is also known as ivory sometimes, is the material which covers the crown, and it is the hardest substance in the body. Now dentine means forms the bulk of the tooth, and it is harder than bone but not as much as the enamel. And it has minute canals through which runs the strands of cytoplasm. So this is the cytoplasm, and we call it pulp cavity. And what is present inside the pulp cavity? Pulp is present, which is soft connective tissue, and it is made up of blood capillaries, lymph vessels, nerve fibers. It is continuous with those of body, and through the opening of pulp cavity at the base of the root. And as I told you that there is a bone-like structure, bone-like material which fixes the root in position, fixes the root of the tooth with the jaws, and that is called cement. Okay, so this was all about the structure of the tooth. Now we will discuss about the salivary glands, our next topic. Now children, you have to learn the 3 more names. In here they have shown in your digestive system. In the mouth we have 3 glands. I think we have read in class 8th also. We have 3 pairs of salivary glands in our mouth or in our buccal cavity. We call them parotid glands, and sublingual below the tongue, and submandibular below the jaws, and parotid just near the ears. Okay, so they have written names here also: sublingual, submandibular, parotid. All of these glands, they are exocrine glands. They have their ducts. So you can see here their ducts bring the secretion, that is, they bring the saliva in the mouth. And you also know that saliva helps the food to become soft, and it is then mixed up. The food which is chewed by the teeth, then it gets mixed with saliva, and then it becomes a soft mass of food, and that soft mass of food is now called as bolus, and that can be easily swallowed through our esophagus. Okay, so learn these 3 names, 3 pairs of salivary glands. Remember, they are pairs, 3 pairs of salivary glands. Parotid gland, just location also you have to learn, just in front of the and beneath each ear. And inflammation of parotid glands we have discussed, it causes the disease called mumps. Okay, then submandibular they lie inside of the lower jaw on each side, and sublingual, as lingual suggests the tongue, it is below the tongue. Now then they have discussed that the ducts from each gland, they transport the secreted saliva into the mouth, and small quantities of saliva keep secreting all the times, because you know saliva, it has a function in our body. And see, it also contains, this also you know, the enzyme which is present in saliva is known as salivary amylase, and it is also called petilin, and it is slightly acidic. 6.8 is the pH of this. Then you have to study the functions of saliva. As I told you, it moistens and lubricates the inner lining of the cavity, buccal cavity, and it lubricates the food. And here they can ask you about the definition of bolus also. What do you mean by bolus? So you have to write, bolus is a soft mass of food, soft mass of chewed food which is easy to swallow. Fine. And then you write down that digests, it has the enzyme which is called salivary amylase or petilin. Salivary amylase, it converts the starch into maltose, or which is a type of disaccharide, a type of carbohydrate. So that is why when you chew chapati or rice, you get the sweet taste. That sweet taste is because of the maltose. It has a little sweet taste. So starch gets converted into maltose. Means digestion of food begins in the mouth itself. But since the food remains in mouth for a very less time, so there is very less digestion. And that is why we often suggest that one should eat, while eating the food, it should be properly chewed, because chewing will help in mixing with saliva. And then the starch present. Starch is a type of carbohydrate. We have read in previous chapter, nutrition chapter, and this starch will be converted in maltose by the help of enzyme salivary amylase. Okay, so question on this salivary amylase is definitely asked every time. Then saliva also cleans the mouth and tends to destroy the germs to prevent tooth decay. And dryness in mouth, that is due to less water in saliva, gives a feeling of thirst. So that is why we drink water, and this drinking water, so we can say that saliva also helps in maintaining the water balance in the body. Okay. Now the next topic we will take up in the next video. Thank you.